Man, fuck that begging ass bitch. I don't want to wake up to no begging bitch.
You a stud, bitch. Go wrestle. Go arm wrestle. Go do something, bitch. You got the spotlight. Find you something, go do something, bitch.
Finesse2Tymes jumped on Instagram Live twice and went off, straight up telling GloRilla's sister, Victoria Woods, to pipe down and go get a bag. This all popped off after Victoria hopped on Facebook Live, blasting her own sister, claiming GloRilla left the whole family behind once she blew up. So how did this whole mess explode? Let's rewind it. On February 4th, 2026, Victoria Scarface Woods went live on Facebook and completely aired out GloRilla, saying her sister forgot where she came from. She told viewers their mama was still clocking in long hours at FedEx. One brother was hustling DoorDash just to get by, and another brother, who's autistic, wasn't getting any kind of help. Victoria said GloRilla been eating good off fame for 4 years straight and ain't sent a dime to nobody. She dragged her, saying GloRilla talks about their family struggles in interviews but never actually shows up for them in real life. Victoria didn't hold back either. She told everyone, "Y'all mad I'm talking about y'all's favorite rapper? Y'all's favorite rapper ain't. My mama's still working at FedEx." That live went viral in hours. It got chopped up and spread across X, Instagram, and YouTube. Every blog, gossip page, and reaction channel had something to say, but no one came louder than Finesse2Tymes. Finesse2Tymes, real name Ricky Hampton Jr., is a Memphis rapper who's been holding it down for the city. He and GloRilla both popped off from the same scene, even landing in XXL's 2023 freshman class together. They got ties in the city, ties in the industry, and when Victoria's rant started catching steam, Finesse wasn't about to just sit quiet. He reposted one of Victoria's clips on his IG story and fired off. "Somebody tell GloRilla's sister, STFUTU," and that was just a warm-up. 2 days later, February 6th, 2026, Victoria popped up on TMZ for an interview, saying all she wanted from GloRilla was $2,500. She said the whole thing made her feel humiliated in public. "You know how embarrassing it is," she said, "to be at the club as Glo's sister, then walk outside to a Chevy Malibu?" That line alone blew up online. Once Finesse saw that TMZ interview, he jumped back on Instagram Live.
Get off your mother and go make some mother sense of yourself. Get off your mother and go do something for your mother yourself.
And this time, he snapped. It turned into a full-blown rant that spread like wildfire. He didn't sugarcoat a thing. He went straight at Victoria, calling her out for expecting money from her sister when she hadn't built anything herself. Finesse said, "You ain't did what you was supposed to did to be somebody. You don't get on the internet and talk about your people like that because you ain't got no hustle." He told her to get up, stop complaining, and go make her own bread. He even started naming ways she could do it, like he was giving a free hustle seminar live on IG. Then he compared Victoria to one of his own cousins, saying she had the same vibe, always in someone else's pockets, waiting for handouts without doing the work. He said it's that same lazy energy, and people online ate it up. Clips of his rant started blowing up everywhere, on DJ Academic's page, XXL, and a ton of YouTube reaction channels. The whole thing turned into chaos. The way Finesse delivered his message, raw, bold, and totally unfiltered, had everyone talking. Suddenly, he was knee-deep in a family beef that wasn't even his from the start. But Victoria wasn't about to back down either. She clapped back at Finesse on Facebook, saying he shouldn't talk about loyalty when he don't even look out for his own mama. Now, the city's watching. And this drama just keeps getting wilder by the minute. Victoria clapped back hard, saying, "Finesse2Tymes don't even take care of his mama like Glo does." She tried to flip the whole situation on him, turning the spotlight his way. If he was gonna preach about hustle and family loyalty, she was ready to test his credibility right there in public. That's when things got real messy. Her words dragged Finesse's own mother into the drama.
I don't wake up to no motherfucker who feel like they motherfucking obligated to another motherfucker's success. I don't want to hear about no big and bald head motherfucking FedEx pickup truck bitch.
Finesse's mom hopped online and shut it all down. standing tall for her son and calling Victoria's claims straight-up lies. Suddenly, what started as simple sister beef between GloRilla and Victoria had turned into a full-on family war. Multiple families were now caught in the crossfire. Instagram lives were going off left and right, and rappers all over the map were jumping in with their takes. It was chaos on every timeline. But Finesse2Tymes didn't stop there. He wasn't done yet. When the game posted on Instagram showing support for GloRilla and saying she didn't owe her family a dime, Finesse went right back on the offensive. He called the game a whole hypocrite and threw shade by bringing up the game's own family drama, asking, "Where was all that energy when you had family problems?" It was shots fired from every direction. Nobody was safe in this one. Finesse2Tymes wasn't about to take advice or stand in unity with somebody he felt had no right to speak on the subject. That's what made his part in all this drama hit different. He wasn't just backing GloRilla, he was calling out everybody. To him, Victoria was acting entitled, and the game, straight up being fake. He checked anyone who tried to ride someone else's success without putting in work. His message was clear and sharp. Go get your own, and he didn't whisper it either. He shouted it louder than anyone in the room. But to really get why Finesse went off like that, you gotta rewind to what Victoria actually said. Her accusations weren't light jabs or vague shade. They were deep, specific, and straight from the heart. She painted a whole picture of a family struggling to survive while the most famous member was living the high life, never once looking back. Victoria's Facebook Live on February 4th, 2026, hit like a gut punch. She came on camera with fire in her voice, aiming her words right at her younger sister's image, GloRilla, born Gloria Hallelujah Woods. She said Glo had spent 4 years shining under the spotlight, while the rest of the family was still stuck in the same Memphis trenches they grew up in. Victoria didn't hold back a single detail. She said their mom was still clocking in at FedEx, breaking her back at a job that left her drained. All while her daughter's songs were racking up hundreds of millions of streams. Then she dropped more personal stuff, claiming their dad was so low on cash, he had to borrow $100 from their mom just to get by. She painted a rough picture of the rest of their siblings too. One brother out here grinding on DoorDash just to make ends meet, and another brother who's autistic, getting zero help from the sister who could have easily made a difference. But it was how real Victoria got that made her live go viral. She wasn't talking in riddles. She was talking from lived pain. She spoke as someone who shared the same beat-up house, slept on those busted air mattresses.
I don't want to wake up to no motherfucking Johnson & Johnson motherfucking temp service, bitch. Don't make me wake up to no bullshit, no motherfucking temp service hoe. Cause the same way when GloRilla was on that motherfucking video.
Fought off roaches and went hungry on nights when there wasn't enough to eat. And what hit hardest? Victoria said she watched all those struggles get turned into GloRilla's come-up story. The same rough past that once embarrassed them was now a part of Glo's success narrative. But none of the blessings seemed to reach back home. That's what had people split. Some felt Victoria was just bitter, while others said she had every right to speak her truth. But one thing was certain. Her words struck a nerve so deep that Finesse2Tymes felt the need to jump in and make sure everyone heard his version of loyalty loud and clear. Victoria laid it all out. No filters, no holding back. She said, "For you to know how we struggled, how we got neglected, how we got mistreated, and for you not to reach back and do nothing for none of us, that hit deep." She wasn't just venting. She was putting her pain out there for the world to see. Then she took aim at GloRilla's image, the one her sister had been proudly building online and in interviews. Victoria called out how GloRilla always talked about their tough upbringing, their family battles, and the grind it took to make it out, using that story to connect with fans who love a good rags to riches tale. But according to Victoria, all that family love talk was just for the cameras. Behind the scenes, not a single bit of that spotlight ever turned into real help. Victoria basically accused her sister of turning their shared pain into profit, saying Glo cashed in on the struggle that the rest of them were still living through. She made it sound like Glo built her whole brand on the family's hardship while leaving them behind to figure life out on their own. And she didn't stop there. Victoria started posting even more online, dropping what she called receipts. She wrote, "Same mom, same dad, 10 siblings. Y'all think she this upright person when she really not. Ain't flew since she got on. Gloria Woods, call my bluff. It's been 4 years. Why the media haven't seen your siblings? That last line hit like a dagger. When she asked, why haven't the media seen your siblings? She wasn't talking about privacy. She was accusing Glo of pretending her family didn't exist. Victoria said it wasn't about keeping things private. It was straight up erasure. Then she followed up with another post that made jaws drop. She wrote, "Our parents not straight. Our dad just borrowed $100 from our mom. I had to give my mom $1,800 on a $2,400 rent because y'all favorite rapper blocked her." Every new post got sharper, louder, and more emotional. By that point, the internet was split. Some were calling Victoria brave for speaking up. Others said she was dragging family business too far into the public eye. But one thing's for sure, her words had everyone talking, and the family tension was boiling over fast.
Bouncing around, eating that motherfucking hot and spicy. When she was broke, she ate that motherfucker. She ate that motherfucker. She ate that motherfucking hot and spicy. She ate that motherfucker.
That detail Victoria dropped about covering $1,800 of their mom's rent, while claiming GloRilla had straight up blocked her own mother, set the internet on fire. That wasn't just neglect if true, it sounded like intentional ghosting. A move that cut off her mom from the financial support you'd expect a successful daughter to give. Fans were stunned. If that accusation had any truth to it, it painted Glo in a whole different light. Then came the TMZ interview on February 6th, and that's when everything flipped upside down. Victoria sat right there in front of the cameras, calm but clearly fed up, and dropped the real bomb. She wasn't asking for millions, not a house, not even a steady allowance. All she said she ever wanted from GloRilla was $2,500. That's it. For a chart-topping rapper with Billboard hits, collabs with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and an album that sold serious numbers, $2,500 is literally pocket change. Victoria knew that, and she leaned all the way into how embarrassing it felt to be her sister's sister yet still be struggling. She told TMZ about the humiliation of being out in public, getting recognized as Glo's sister at a club, then stepping outside to hop in a Chevy Malibu. That contrast hit people hard. It showed just how wide the gap between their lives had become. Victoria didn't stop there either. She threw more shade at the one big thing Glo supposedly had done for the family, buying their dad a Jaguar. But according to Victoria, that car was just for show. She said their pops didn't even have gas money to keep it running. To her, it was the perfect symbol of their whole relationship. A luxury whip with no fuel, all shine, no real support. By now, the accusations were piling up thick. And the story exploded across every major outlet. The Shade Room, Hot New Hip Hop, Blavity, XXL, everybody picked it up. Within days, Victoria's name was everywhere, and millions were tuned into the drama. She wasn't being seen as just a bitter sibling anymore. She was positioning herself like a whistleblower, someone pulling back the curtain on what she called the real GloRilla. And that's exactly why Finesse2Tymes felt the need to jump in with equal energy. He didn't waste time picking apart every detail Victoria said. Instead, he came in swinging at the bigger picture. His stance was loud and simple. Glo don't owe nobody nothing. He said Victoria's whole argument was wrong from the start. That nobody has the right to demand a cut of someone else's success just because they share blood. But while Finesse was out here setting Instagram Live on fire with his rants, GloRilla was gearing up for a whole different kind of comeback. She wasn't about to fight loud. She was about to fight smart. Glo started gathering her own receipts, screenshots, phone calls, and real proof to flip the entire story upside down. Instead of yelling back, she went quiet and strategic, slowly piecing together a defense that would shake everything up. What started as a story about abandonment was about to twist into something way deeper, way messier, and a whole lot more painful than anyone saw coming. GloRilla's first counterattack came quick. On February 5th, 2026, she hit her Instagram story with receipts. Front and center was a screenshot of a text convo between her and their mom. The message, allegedly from their mother, read, "You do so much for the family. I appreciate everything you do for me and the family." Boom! Just like that, Glo dropped a clean, surgical counterpunch. If Victoria had been out here saying Glo didn't do anything for the family, this was the perfect clapback, straight from their mom herself. The same mom Victoria claimed was still out here breaking her back at FedEx was now sending her superstar daughter messages full of gratitude and love. But GloRilla wasn't done yet. She had more ammo. She followed up that post with screenshots of texts from her cousin, Lena Harris, showing regular check-ins, money transfers, and family support. Those messages painted a totally different picture than what Victoria had been pushing online. And then came the move that had social media buzzing. GloRilla posted a link to Indeed.com, the job search website, without saying a single word. No caption, no shade, just the link. Fans instantly got the message. She was basically saying, "You need help? Go get it." It was bold, petty, and calculated all at once. Glo wasn't ranting or crying. She was strategically showing proof. Every post felt like a move in a silent chess game, and the message was crystal clear. She wasn't the villain her sister was making her out to be.
If Victoria was out here begging for money, GloRilla's message was loud and clear. There are jobs out there waiting. That single Indeed.com link said everything without her needing to type a word. It carried the same energy that Finesse2Tymes would later shout about on live, except Glo delivered it with quiet, calculated precision. But that was just a warm-up. The real bombshell came when GloRilla took things to a level no celebrity in her position would normally dare. She hopped on Instagram Live in front of thousands of people watching in real time and called her parents right there on camera. No script, no PR filter, just raw, uncut truth. Glo asked them directly if she had been taking care of them. No dancing around it, no avoiding the question. It was a bold move that put her parents in the hot seat, live for everyone to see. And when they answered, they confirmed that yes, their daughter had been supporting them, even saying she'd retired them from working altogether. That was a devastating power play in the court of public opinion. With that one live call, Glo basically crushed Victoria's entire argument. If their own parents were saying she looked out for them, then what exactly was Victoria fighting about? Suddenly, her claims of neglect didn't hold as much weight. But Glo didn't stop there, not even close. What came next completely flipped the whole story on its head. She started hinting that this drama wasn't really about money at all. It was about something way darker and rooted deep in their past. While still on that same live, GloRilla turned the spotlight back on her sister and began dropping shocking claims, not in anger, but calm and steady, like someone who had been carrying heavy truths for a long time. She didn't just defend herself, she started exposing history. Glo said the real reason she kept her distance from Victoria had nothing to do with fame or ego. It had everything to do with pain, with betrayal, danger, and old wounds that never healed. Then she said it straight up. "You don't want to talk about what you did to me as a kid. We ain't going to talk about how you got me sent to jail, how you tried to shoot me and then set me up." That moment froze the internet. Glo was saying her own sister once tried to harm her, that she was the reason she ended up sitting in jail for a week. These weren't petty sibling arguments anymore. These were serious accusations, things that pointed to real danger, real trauma, and possibly even crimes. Glo laid it all out calmly, without theatrics, just truth and tone, like someone who had held her peace for years but finally had enough. It was haunting and powerful all at once. Fans watching didn't know whether to feel shocked, heartbroken, or angry, but one thing was undeniable. This wasn't just family drama anymore. This was deep-rooted pain finally spilling out into the public, and it changed everything about how people saw the feud between GloRilla and Victoria. Since Victoria took the drama online first, GloRilla finally clapped back, saying, "I've done a lot. I don't appreciate what Victoria's doing to my family." That single word, "my," said it all. It showed the bond between the sisters had been broken long before any Facebook Live ever started. After that, everything shifted. The question wasn't, did Glo share her money anymore? It became, why would anyone expect kindness from someone who says their sibling once tried to harm them? The story went from money talk to emotional damage, real, painful family history coming to light. Victoria tried to fight back, saying their mom don't type that light, and still throwing shade at Glo's label and career moves. But it didn't matter, the momentum had flipped. The focus moved from FedEx shifts and DoorDash runs to a broken family dealing with years of buried pain. And when fans looked deeper, Glo's reaction made sense. She'd already told her story before on her 2024 Club Shay Shay interview with Shannon Sharp about growing up in a Memphis home filled with rats, roaches, and struggle. She slept on an air mattress till she was 15, washed up with bottled water when the lights were cut off, and didn't step into a real classroom until 10 years. That's the world both sisters came from, but the past they took out of it couldn't have been any different.
GloRilla took all that pain and turned it into power, pouring her real-life experiences straight into her music. She grinded through the Memphis scene, dropping early projects like Most Likely Up Next in 2019 and EPP Status in 2020, before finally blowing up in April 2022 with FNF Let's Go, the anthem that went crazy viral on TikTok and even earned her a Grammy nomination. After that, her career took off like wildfire. She linked up with Yo Gotti's Collective Music Group, dropped major collabs with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and her debut album hit the Billboard 200. Glo built everything from scratch, pure grind, pure hustle, pure Memphis energy. And that's exactly what Finesse2Tymes kept reminding everyone. Glo built something real, while Victoria, in his eyes, hadn't done the same. To him, that was the real difference between the sisters. One created her own lane, the other kept expecting a shortcut. The industry couldn't look away. The beef between GloRilla and Victoria was already wild enough, a family feud involving one of hip-hop's biggest rising stars. But what made it blow up even more was the reaction chain. Rappers, influencers, and fans all started jumping in, each adding their own take, their own shade, and their own headlines. One post turned into 10, and within days, it became an industry spectacle. Every hip-hop blog, every YouTube reaction channel, every gossip page was eating it up. Then came The Game, one of the first OGs to publicly take a side. He hit Instagram and posted that GloRilla don't owe nobody nothing. It was a bold statement. No sugarcoating, no gray area, no family excuses. The Game made it clear. Just because you make it out doesn't mean you're obligated to take care of everyone who didn't. That post drew a hard line in the sand, and it set the tone for the rest of the conversation. Fans flooded the comments, debating loyalty, boundaries, and what family support really means once success hits. And for people already riding with GloRilla, The Game's cosign was huge. He's a respected veteran who survived his own public family drama, so his words carried serious weight. His backing basically stamped approval on Glo's whole mindset, that protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's survival. With The Game speaking up and Finesse2Tymes doubling down, the conversation around GloRilla's family drama stopped being gossip. It turned into a full-on cultural debate about fame, family, and how far loyalty really has to go. GloRilla was moving with quiet confidence, standing on her truth, but Finesse2Tymes wasn't letting up. He switched his focus from Victoria straight to The Game, calling him flat-out hypocritical. Finesse dragged The Game's own history of messy family drama into the light, reminding everyone that his personal ties had been tangled in public for years. The message was clear and sharp. You can't preach about family loyalty when your own house ain't clean. That hit deep. Finesse positioned himself as the self-appointed consistency police, calling out anyone he thought was talking slick while living the opposite. He didn't care about clout, names, or career length. If you spoke on it, he was checking you. That raw, fearless energy is what made his presence in the feud so magnetic. Fans couldn't look away. He wasn't picking the easy targets or chasing attention. He was pressing everybody, from Victoria to The Game. Nobody was off limits. That's what made people tune in, the tension, the drama, and the way Finesse said what others were too scared to say. Then Freddie Gibbs slid in with a completely different energy. No lectures, no long monologues, just laughter. He found the whole situation funny, reacting like it was pure entertainment instead of a serious family crisis. His approach stood out because while everyone else was arguing, Gibbs was just vibing, treating the feud like a wild reality TV show unfolding in real time. And the truth is, a lot of fans agreed with him. A whole crowd online saw the drama the same way, not as a moral debate about family loyalty, but as chaos that has spiraled far beyond its starting point. Gibbs' refusal to take sides became its own statement. Maybe nobody needed to be this emotionally invested in another person's family business. But then Boosie Badass came in with probably the most level-headed take of all. On February 20th, 2026, he hit his Instagram story and refused to choose a side. Instead, Boosie focused on clearing up what he felt was the biggest misunderstanding fueling the whole mess, that success automatically means you owe everybody around you. Boosie didn't come at it with anger or shade, he came with logic. He pointed out that people forget how much work it takes to make it out, how draining it can be to carry others once you do, and how sometimes setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's survival. His post brought a rare calm to the chaos, a moment of reason in the middle of an internet storm. And while the drama was still far from over, Boosie's take gave fans something new to think about. Maybe this wasn't about money or loyalty after all, but about healing old wounds that fame had only made harder to hide.
Boosie broke it down plain and simple. People seriously overestimate how much money rappers actually have. He said the public thinks one-hit record means instant generational wealth, but that's far from reality. Between label deals, taxes, splits, touring costs, and management fees, most of that money disappears fast. He made it clear he wasn't siding with GloRilla or Victoria. He was just keeping it real. In his words, artists should help family when they can, but not to the point of going broke themselves. It was one of the few grounded takes in the conversation that had been full of extremes, with Finesse2Tymes telling Victoria to go wash cars and The Game saying Glo didn't owe anybody a dime. Boosie reminded everyone that the truth usually lives in that messy middle, the same place real family problems play out when nobody's watching. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. Tory Lanez, locked up at the time, allegedly sent Victoria the exact $2,500 she'd been asking for. Victoria confirmed on Instagram that the money came through and thanked him publicly. It was a move that shocked everyone, both generous and messy at the same time. Some said it made GloRilla look bad, while others thought Tory was just chasing sympathy headlines. Either way, it added yet another wild twist to a story already dominating blogs, YouTube reactions, and hip-hop news non-stop. Then Turk jumped in, backing Victoria's side and saying flat out that family obligations do exist when somebody makes it out of poverty. His take stood out, one of the few voices in the rap game arguing that success doesn't erase responsibility. While most rappers sided with GloRilla or stayed neutral, Turk made sure the conversation didn't get one-sided. Major outlets like Complex, BET, and Hot 97 covered every new twist, keeping the story alive across every platform. What started as one woman's emotional Facebook Live turned into a full-blown industry debate, a referendum on what famous people owe the folks they grew up with. Each rapper who chimed in became a symbol for a different mindset. Finesse2Tymes' Get It On Your Own camp, Boosie's Middle Ground, and Turk's Don't Forget Your Roots stance. Fans picked sides fast, flocking to whichever voice matched their own family experiences and views on money and loyalty. While the rappers argued from their IG lives, the real war played out online, in comment sections, quote tweets, TikTok stitches, and Reddit threads. Fans went at it non-stop, their debates often messier and more emotional than anything the artist said. The GloRilla versus Victoria feud hit a raw cultural nerve. If you make it out, are you obligated to lift the same people you escaped from? That question split the internet in half. On Instagram, the pro-GloRilla crowd was loud and relentless. Shade Room posts were flooded with takes like "entitlement is real" and "go get your own bag," echoing Finesse2Tymes' message almost word for word. Over on X, the debate got even hotter. Some said it's weird when people become millionaires and leave families suffering, while others clapped back just as hard, saying nobody owes anybody anything. By this point, it wasn't just gossip, it was a nationwide discussion about family, fame, and the price of making it out. Some GloRilla supporters took the conversation deeper, tying the feud to her well-known history of childhood trauma. They argued that if Glo cut Victoria off, she probably had a real reason. Others framed it as self-preservation, saying walking away from toxic family ain't abandonment, it's survival. Still, the pro-Victoria camp wasn't backing down. Though smaller in numbers, they spoke from a place of moral duty and community values, the belief that when you're blessed, you bless others. On Facebook, supporters wrote that family bonds forged through real poverty come with an unspoken rule of loyalty and mutual care.
They pointed to Victoria's claim that GloRilla used their family's hardships as storytelling fuel for her music and interviews, calling it exploitation. Their argument was clear: you can't profit off shared pain and then refuse to share the blessings. YouTube reaction channels jumped in too, replaying Victoria's TMZ interview and saying her $2,500 ask wasn't greed, it was humble, especially compared to Glo's wealth. Some fans even broke it down like math. With 10 siblings and aging parents, they said Glo's responsibility wasn't just emotional, it was cultural. The debate split social media down the middle, one side preaching boundaries, the other preaching family first, both convinced they were defending what's right. Another large group online wasn't taking sides at all. They just wanted everyone to log off and handle things privately. Comment sections filled up with people saying this was family business, not internet content. To them, the platform was the real problem, not the message. They argued that whatever valid points Victoria had were ruined the moment she took them to Facebook Live and TMZ. And whatever healthy boundaries GloRilla tried to defend got lost once she started posting screenshots and calling her parents on IG Live. What should have been a private conversation turned into a public show. TikTok creators echoed that sentiment, questioning why celebrities keep airing personal family problems in front of millions of strangers. The situation turned into a mirror for a much bigger issue: how impossible it is for artists from the bottom to juggle fame, loyalty, and privacy at the same time. BET, Hot 97, and other outlets picked up on that theme fast, breaking down how the expectations on these artists are straight up contradictory. Fans want them to share success but stay humble, give back but protect their bag, keep it real but stay private, all while being watched by people who still remember when they had nothing. And GloRilla definitely isn't the first to get caught in this trap. The comparisons came quick, like Tyler Perry, who once revealed that after his mother passed, he gave his family 6 days to find jobs, calling it tough love. The message was the same one hanging over this entire saga. Where's the line between helping family and protecting your own peace? Mariah Carey once cut ties with her siblings, calling them toxic and choosing peace over guilt, and her career only flourished. Eminem turned his mother's neglect into multi-platinum hits while keeping his distance from her completely. 50 Cent did the same, cutting off relatives he said tried to eat off his plate and made independence his brand. Even Britney Spears publicly accused her family of exploiting her conservatorship, and the world sided with her. Across the board, the pattern was clear. When stars protected their peace, their careers stayed strong, sometimes even stronger. But the relatives who went public with complaints rarely got the sympathy they expected. Victoria's situation followed that exact same script. Her first Facebook Live grabbed attention and a wave of sympathy. The TMZ interview made her story sound human and real. But as time went on, the non-stop posts, public rants, and GloRilla's calm counter-receipts, especially the ones hinting at dark family history, started changing the crowd's opinion fast. By the end, sympathy for Victoria began to fade. Online spaces like Lipstick Alley filled up with long threads debating who was really in the wrong, and most users ended up agreeing that Victoria's own approach hurt her more than anything GloRilla ever said. Meanwhile, longtime fans who had followed GloRilla since her early days were quick to point something out. The same family Victoria claimed Glo abandoned was, according to old interviews, the one that struggled to provide for her in the first place. They reminded everyone that Glo had spoken openly about lacking basic necessities, having her education delayed, and even dealing with a situation so rough that CPS had to get involved. As of now, there's still no real resolution. The story remains an open wound, a family feud that was always bound to get messy, but became 10 times worse once it hit social media. Finesse2Tymes' involvement made sure the whole thing burned hotter and longer than it ever would have on its own. His wild, unfiltered energy kept the story trending. Every live, every quote, every reaction became another viral moment. Whether his defense of GloRilla came from genuine Memphis loyalty, personal conviction, or just an eye for what drives clicks, only he knows for sure. But the end result was clear. One family's pain became hip-hop's latest talking point, a spectacle the internet couldn't stop watching. Like it always does, the timeline picked sides, crowned winners, and then moved on, waiting for the next chapter of chaos to drop. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to keep up with more wild industry stories and viral controversies. You won't want to miss what's coming next.